Hi everyone, my name is Chi April, and today I'm going to share with you my understanding and my analysis about the Airbnb data, and from which I will share with you some insights from the Airbnb data in New York City for customers to consider before their booking. Okay, so this Airbnb data source appeared to be very rich data set with a variety of columns that allow us to do deep data exploration. And by doing some data visualization and making some analysis, we can have some insights on the listings market in New York City, from which we can make some recommendations for customers to choose their destination. As far as the customer is concerned, we always want to make the most of every penny spent. So in the following charts, I focus on the price and the review score beside the location factor. Okay, first, let's have a look at this scatter plot. And in here, we can see the number of bedrooms as well as the price of each of the 5 neighborhoods in New York City. We can see here Brooklyn and Manhattan. Both of them have the many options, way more options to live than the rest places. And you can see here in the Bronx or the Staten Island, they have just a few options. And this is understandable because we all know that the two places, the cost of living are low and most of the room price are cheap. Now let's have a look at this bar chart in which we can see the number of the bedrooms as well as number of each room type. In here we have the 3 room types, which are entire room apartment, private room, and share room. And look at the chart. We can see that Manhattan lists the records of bedrooms, followed by Brooklyn, then Queens. Bronx comes after, and Staten Island is the bottom. And in here, the entire room apartment accounts for the most among the 3 types in all places, except for Bronx. In Bronx, the private room is the dominant choice over entire room and share room. Okay, and now we want to know all of the availability of room types of the 5 neighborhoods. For example, as you can see here, the apartments are everywhere. But for example, if you want to choose the Queens as our destination, and we want to target private room condominium in Queens, then there's no record. Here, you can see any record in Queens for private room condominium. So the next bar chart. We also want to understand about the average price per room type of New York City. And in here we can easily see that share room is the cheapest choice, while entire room apartment is the most expensive. So how about the average price of each neighborhood and how many options of room apartment for each place? We can totally know about that based on this chart. In this chart, We can definitely observe a couple of things about distribution of prices for Airbnb in New York City neighborhoods. First, we can state that Manhattan has the highest rent of prices for the listing, with 198.5 as the average observation, followed by Staten Island with 163.5 per night. Brooklyn comes next, and Bronx, as always, is the cheapest among all. Okay, so now let's deep dive about the average price per room type for each neighborhood. In here, we can see the trend is like that. Always the share room is the cheapest, then private room, then entire home. But look at the chart. It is really interesting to know that the average price of the private room in Queens, which is 72.5, is lower than the share room in Queens. That is totally against with the general rule. And this is the price per bedroom in the five places. And we can see that the Manhattan is always the place where it has the highest price. Now, I want to walk you through the average review score rating so that we can have some rooms, some hints to choose the room and apartment for our short time landing. For example, if we choose Queens as our destination, then let's have a look here. The average review scores rating is only 75, which is so low. So cabin might not be a good choice because of this low score. Why the good recommendations can be dorm, condom, apartment, or both, because both of them, because all of them has scores rating above 90, which are considered as high. And that's it. Thank you for your time and thank you for your watching.